Hey everyone, I'm Lauren Lowry in the WSMV4 Now studio. It was a violent 4th of July. We had 3 separate shootings across Nashville, multiple shots fired, multiple people killed. There are so many. I want to go run down them for you because, gosh, there's just so much information. First of all, let me show you video. This is from where a 16-year-old was shot and killed. We know that more than 100 rounds were fired into a car at one shooting, and then the video you're looking at right here is where a 16-year-old boy was killed. It's just wild how much violence there was yesterday on the actual holiday 4th of July. A man was shot and killed Tuesday at an apartment complex in Lebanon Pike. That's what you're looking at here. Police were notified about that shooting about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There was a 23-year-old who was critically injured from a gunshot wound as he sat inside a car. The Dodge Challenger he was in had crashed into a telephone pole near the apartment building. He was targeted by the gunfire. That's what police believe. And police need your help. If you know anything about that one, call them. And then a couple hours later, 4:30 p.m., East Nashville, there was a shooting. There was an initial report of a shooting at the Fallbrook Apartments, and police said a 16-year-old boy was killed in that. He was taken to Vanderbilt University, where he later died. There were witnesses, according to police, but at this point, no new information, no more to share as they continue their investigation. And then at 7:30 last night, more than 100 rounds were fired by somebody, multiple suspects near Buena Vista Pike. Let me show you video of where that happened specifically. This was at the Overlook Ridge Apartments. Again, 7:30 last night, MNPD is saying that a group of men actually opened fire on this person. 27-year-old Christopher Harris is his name. Harris was standing next to his car when the shooting happened. This was at the Overlook Ridge Apartments. Again, 2400 Buena Vista Pike. Witnesses are saying that his body was found inside the car, and they do believe this was targeted. And then after 10 o'clock last night, 3 more likely injured by celebratory gunfire, police are saying. The wild thing about all of this is that this is now bringing our total of people killed in Nashville for the year up to 53. It's been a violent weekend for sure. And again, 3 shootings in Nashville, 3 people injured. Rather, I should say 3 deadly shootings in Nashville, multiple people injured. And then again, last night, 10:30 p.m., celebratory gunshots after the fireworks. So lots of violence happening across the city. But Nashville wasn't the only place that experienced a tragedy and trauma through all of this. Let me show you some more video here because this has now become the 5th most shootings in a single day. You're looking at video from out of state right now, from Baltimore, I believe. There was a teenager, at least 4 dead, I should say. Officials say at least 4 people are dead and 7 injured at a block party in Shreveport, Louisiana. That was yesterday, and police in Shreveport are saying they responded to many calls of gunfire, but that particular one was a very deadly shooting. And then in D.C., 9 people outside enjoying all the July 4th festivities in our nation's capital were hurt yesterday. And again, that's also connected with the July 4th holiday. And then you go to Salisbury, Maryland, where a 14-year-old boy was killed and 6 other people were hurt in a shooting. Again, so now you're talking about a shooting in Maryland, a shooting in D.C., a shooting in Louisiana, and then there was a shooting in Philadelphia just several days ago, also linked to the 4th of July holiday. This has been a deadly holiday, not only the days leading up to the holiday, but also the holiday itself, not only in Nashville, but also across the country. And there have been so many events that involved gunfire and that involve now major police investigations all across this country. I want to let you listen to what President Biden said just in the last few hours about all of this violence.
Congress needs to step up, pass common sense gun safety laws to protect our kids and educators. And by the way, arming teachers is not the answer. Arming teachers is not the answer.
Okay, so that is what the president said during a July 4th celebration that was in Delaware specifically. Again, lots of gunfire and deadly results. Nashville had 3 dead in 3 separate shootings yesterday alone. Plus, there are 3 national stories that are making headlines right now. 4 people killed in Louisiana, several people shot, 9 people shot specifically in D.C., and then also 1 person dead, but 6 people shot in Baltimore. I want to show you more of this video here for Nashville again. This particular issue that happened at the Overlook Ridge Apartments last night. This was a major issue where we know someone died. I'm trying to get you some of the information. Rather, let me show you this particular shooting. This one was where a 16-year-old was shot and killed at an apartment complex. It's just another wild story as I run down for you some of the details that happened with these shootings. You're looking right now at video of a Bordeaux shooting. We know more than 100 rounds were fired at a man by multiple suspects near Buena Vista Pike in Bordeaux. And that was, again, last night. This particular one where you're seeing video of, this happened at 7:30 last night. The victim, 27-year-old Christopher Harris, was standing next to his car when that happened at the Overlook Ridge Apartments. Then, of course, there was a 4:30 p.m. shooting in East Nashville, also deadly, where a 16-year-old was killed. Police have identified him as Itabo Malanda. He was taken to Vanderbilt, and that's where he died. We know witnesses were there and are hopefully cooperating with police. And then as we back up, again, 2 p.m. yesterday, on the 4th of July holiday, someone was shot and killed at Lebanon Pike. Again, this was at an apartment complex on Lebanon Pike. Police were notified at 2 p.m. Angel Rodriguez Troche, a 23-year-old, was critically hurt from a gunshot wound, and he was inside the driver's seat of a Dodge Challenger. Police believe 2 suspects are involved in that one, and they are still on the run. At this point, the motive for all the gunfire is still under investigation. So what do you need to know walking away from this story after a 4th of July holiday? While you might have been enjoying your barbecue and your burgers and maybe your beer, the police in this city were investigating deadly shootings. 3 deadly shootings, 2 p.m., 7:30 p.m., 10 p.m., and then even more celebratory gunfire as it went along. So over these next few days, there are several questions we're going to be asking here in Nashville as we look to officials to give us information about what their investigations are showing. Do they have suspects? Is there someone who's going to be held accountable and held responsible for this? Will there be warrants out for someone's arrest? After all of the violence we experienced, there's no doubt you've got a very busy homicide detective unit for Metro Nashville Police right now. We are going to continue to gather more information for you on these stories. You can look for more updates on WSMV.com. Matter of fact, let me show you this one story on WSMV.com as I scroll up here to the very top. This is the story, 3 killed, 3 injured in 4th of July shootings across Nashville. This is the story you need to check out because this is the one that's going to give you all the details specifically regarding who died, where they happened, and what we know right now. We'll keep updating this one. See right here, it's got the information about that 2 p.m. shooting. You keep scrolling down, you'll see the information about the 4:30 shooting. Keep scrolling down, the 7:30 shooting, and then more on the likely injuries from celebratory gunfire. Again, all in that story right there. You can click on it on the main page of the news tab from your WSMV4 news app. Also WSMV.com. We've got all of it there for you. Make sure you are totally prepared and you know what's happening in your city. For now, we will take a break and we'll see you back here on the news as well as on the WSMV4 Now studio. I'm Lauren.